here.
Thank you so much. Hi, I'm Linda Dano.
And I'm Dee Kelly.
Hi.
Welcome to Attitudes, everybody. Well, we're continuing our What's Hot series.
Yeah, you know what that is. What's hot, what's in, the latest, from names of your kids to the kind of car you should drive, what kind of car, all of
Everything that's in and trendy and now. And
so,
the latest thing is
popcorn.
That's
as
right.
a snack in between all the meals. You know, in between breakfast, lunch, dinner, at night. You just become a popcorn freak.
You can have it. It's an any time kind of snack, but we must tell you that it's without butter or salt or kind of seasonings and things. It's plain old boring popcorn.
Yeah, it's not very fattening either.
No, this is very good.
No calories, and it's good for you.
And you know we love to eat on this show.
Right.
We just do anything to get to eat something.
It's better with Milk Duds, but hey, you know.
And you can also get it popped. See this? You can pop it on the kernel itself now.
Now explain to them what
Isn't
this
that fun?
is. I've never heard of this.
This is popcorn to pop on the kernel. You put this in your microwave, and it pops right on the kernel, and you can eat it like this.
Is that sick or what? Has somebody been eating it, or does it come out like that?
No. Uh-oh.
It looks like
Somebody's
sort
been
of
eating
a... Has someone been eating this, Ronnie? No? This is how it comes out? Imagine serving this as a little appetizer. This looks like some sort of a crustacean that you found on the floor.
Where are its legs?
Is this having a good run in stores now? It can't.
Well, we'll just sit here and eat popcorn and talk.
Well, you know, they're trying. What can I say?
But you can eat it any time of day. So popcorn is hot, everybody.
Hot.
Yeah.
All right.
So who else do we have?
We have somebody
a
else
great
who's
show.
hot.
Yes.
Shelley Winters is here.
See that? She's going to love that.
Yeah, we've been talking to her backstage, and she's great. You'll like her a lot, I think.
She's just written a new book, and she's going to tell us all about Hollywood and all about her life and all about her.
Yeah.
Then Kay Unger is with us. You might not recognize Kay Unger's name, but you will know her because she's a designer for all of Gillian. Used to be St. Gillian,
right? But
now it's just Gillian for the 90s, and they have a whole new campaign, and she's charming and wonderful and smart, and she's here too.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
we should pass our popcorn around to the audience.
Yeah,
no?
we really should.
Yeah,
Good
we will.
idea.
On the break, we will. Okay. We want to introduce you to somebody who's we think is just great. If she were paid by the laugh, our next guest would have retired a long time ago.
So rich, right?
Yeah.
But she's not, so she has to keep working like the rest of us to pay her bills and keep her kid in college. Our series with comedians continues with a very funny lady.
She was once a school teacher in New York, and before that, an Italian from Brooklyn. Please welcome Joy Behar.
Yes.
Sit down.
Hi.
Were you really a school teacher? What
I
did
thought
you
you were going
teach?
to say, well, you're really Italian.
No, that I know. That I know.
Well, no, everybody thinks I'm Jewish, so it's, you know, wherever I go, people never believe me that I'm Italian, even though my name is really Josephine. I mean, what more do you need?
Yeah, really?
You know?
How do you segue from being a teacher to a comedian? What made, one day did you just decide that you had it with teaching?
No. I used to be a teacher and while I was married, and then I was a receptionist at Good Morning America. I've had other jobs. And then I got fired from Good Morning America, and then I became a comedian.
That was so funny that you got your material from that?
Well, I was one of their more hostile receptionists. Good Morning America at 8:30 in the morning. It was not
a pretty sight.
No, really.
And you have a kind of a distinctive voice.
Really?
So that was probably...
Sam Giancana, I'm compared to.
I think we should tell everybody who that is. Would you tell everyone who
Sam Giancana is? Yeah, I think it was a senator, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think so.
Wasn't everybody knows?
I don't know.
Yeah, in the Italian community, he was.
A big mafia person.
Big,
a little scary.
Were you always funny? I mean, did everybody always laugh at everything you said?
Yes.
Yeah.
They used to laugh when I was in elementary and I'd read the Bible. They would laugh. So I knew that
You had something.
Yeah, I mean, you just know these things when you're a child. I sat on the toaster. It was really, you know, every time I would do something.
You sat on the toaster?
Yeah, when I was a kid. Didn't you do that? Yeah. Everyone does that.
Oh, sure, I did that, sure.
Why did you sit on the toaster?
It was a mistake, you know. I was like Shirley Temple, laughing and making jokes, and then I, you know, took my bow and sat on the toaster.
While it was
I burnt
hot.
my behind. Yes.
Do you know, I'm always so fascinated, because to me, stand-up comedian is the hardest job in the whole world. And
well,
to
it's
choose,
not brain surgery,
but
it's
it's
hard, yeah.
Do you ever get out there and have an audience that just doesn't get what you're doing?
Yes.
What do you feel like at that moment?
You feel like
do you want to
killing
quit?
them.
Yeah.
I've had audiences where, you know, well, I work the audience. I'm good with that. I work the house. If they don't like me right away, I make sure that they like me by the time I'm done.
Scary.
Yeah, I do. But I mean,
scary.
it's very frightening. In the beginning, they would just stare at me many times,
God.
you know.
That's so
I've done
horrible.
shows where people, men, generally, it's usually men, older men, are asleep throughout my entire show. You look at the audience and you see men sleeping. They're asleep. Or they're older guys and, you know, maybe they're a little, you know, on some medication or something. Is all I can...
Prostate medication.
Prostate medication,
Right,
yes.
right.
But they're asleep, yeah.
We're desperate to do stand-up, aren't we?
Well, no, actually, we were talking about that. We would never even... Well, they've asked you to do Catch a Rising Star.
Really?
Because she's very funny.
She is funny, yes.
no.
And we can, you know, I get a few good ones in occasionally, but God, that would be the scariest thing in the world, I would think. But I thought it was very interesting what you just said. When Linda asked, what happens, how do you feel when the audience doesn't respond? You said you feel like killing them instead of you feel like killing yourself.
Oh.
So obviously, you must be a very confident person and feel good about you're going to get that room by the end of your act.
Well, that takes a
No
lot of
matter what.
experience. In the beginning, I just wanted to disappear. It took me years to actually get to do it because, I mean, I've had a whole life. I have an 18-year-old daughter. I had I'm divorced. Hard to believe, isn't it? And, and I have had like a whole series of lives and experiences. 7 years of analysis. You know, you name it, I've been through it already. By the time I got to this point, I've been through a lot of different, you know, things. And then when you're 20 years old, you don't know what you're talking about anyway. I didn't. Did you? I know.
I don't know what I'm talking about now.
Oh, well, that's true. You don't.
No. Yeah, that's right. What about, do you have a guy in your life?
Yes, I do. I have a boyfriend.
Yeah.
Why?
I want to know these things. I want to know.
There's
No,
so
I'm married.
nosy
It's all
on this
right.
show.
Yeah, we're so noisy. We really
You have an
are.
Italian husband?
Of course.
I don't see. I don't go out with Italian men.
No?
Their
Why?
attitude is, yo, go get the ravioli. Get your own damn ravioli. That's Frank,
That's
right?
Frank.
I've
That's
heard
Frank.
about Frank,
That's
yes.
right. Frank is like that.
I don't
What's
like that.
for dinner?
No,
Yes.
no. Then they got the, what do I look like, Mama Leone? I like Jewish men.
Do you?
You do?
That's a skinny Jewish guy with an astigmatism. This is my type. You know what I'm saying? The kind of guy you say, Leonard, get the check, and they jump. That's what I like. You know that kind of guy that holds your pocketbook at Loman's while you shop?
Yes.
You say, Morty, read the paper. I'll be back in 4.5 hours. This is what I like.
And he does.
And they sit there nicely. Don't give me any trouble.
Oh, God, you are funny.
That's what I like.
What are some of the more wild experiences you've had on stage? Has anything absolutely incredible happened that you had to handle that you can remember?
On stage?
Yeah.
No, but when I was a teacher, I got hit in the head with a meatball. It's not any different. It's the same hideosity. It's, you know, it's just difficult.
Funny.
It's horrible. Standing up in front of people is the #1 fear in the book of lists. The fear of public speaking. Dying is number 6. People are more afraid of public speaking than to die, which I find that interesting.
But that's true, isn't it? Standing up in front of a bunch of kids.
in front of an audience. I die regularly, you know? It's like doing both.
So you had to kind of do stand-up comedy to keep them occupied as a teacher?
Oh yeah, I was too funny as a teacher in a certain way. You have to be strict. You can't smile for the first 6 months. There's a lot of rules that you have. You cannot smile.
Very limiting.
Do they like you, the kids?
Yeah, well, I had a tough, I used to teach English to high school dropouts in the South Bronx.
Oh, Lord.
That's right. You know the kind of kids who go to jail because they set fire to their parents? Then they would send them to me to teach them the difference between who and whom. This is the job that I had. And, you know, I was good. I would try to make it relevant. I'd say, whom do you wish to murder? Not who. You see what I mean? I was good.
Oh, God. Joy, you're naturally very funny, and I understand why you do what you do.
Uh-huh.
But do you ever feel that pressure, or no? I mean, do you
To do
feel
what,
that
something
you
else?
must be funny all the time?
Oh, no. I used to feel that before I was a comedian. And then I would be at parties and I would work the room and, you know, between hors d'oeuvres, make people laugh. But now I don't have to. I do it on stage now. I get paid for it. You know, I never make anybody laugh unless they're paying me from now on. That's it. Yes.
Remember that.
Remember that.
Remember that. That's good advice.
We wanted to ask you, we were talking about this question, you talk about Cher's perfume and Elizabeth
yeah.
Taylor's perfume and everybody's
Yeah.
perfume. If you had a perfume, what would it be called?
I don't know. I was thinking this afternoon. Cleavage? I don't know. Eau de crèche? I don't know. I couldn't. I don't want to ever get a perfume because once they get a perfume, they get demented. Didn't you ever notice this?
Yeah, they get strange.
There's a dementia. The Catherine Deneuve is crazy off her rocker. Cher is nuts. Elizabeth Taylor's been crazy for how many years now? Please.
It's the perfume that did it.
It's the perfume.
Yeah.
It's the sniffing, trying to
Yeah.
find the right scent, maybe.
And then they start to lie. You know, they all have surgery, these women, you know, and they all pretend they exercise. I saw Elizabeth Taylor one time, and she had lost weight. She was, like, really tight. And they said, you know, she said she had no surgery. And where did that fat go? His aid to the Contras? Come on. Get real, okay?
Joy Behar, thanks for being on Attitudes. You're so
Thank you for
funny.
having me.
Funny,
This is
funny
great.
lady. Thank you.
Fantastic. Coming next, comfortable, attractive, sophisticated clothes from the woman behind the label. Stay with us.
This is my own, you know how
Our next guest has been on her own for 17 years as designer partner of one of America's largest dress businesses. It's into multi-millions with 9 divisions under her direction.
And as that business grew and evolved, so has the woman who wears the clothes. A provocative new advertising blitz projects a woman full of savvy, confidence, and fun. The label is Gillian, and we want you to meet the woman behind it. Please welcome Kay Unger. Hi, Kay. How are you? Good to have you here. Welcome.
Come sit. Now, just so we clear this up with everyone, Gillian has always been called Saint Gillian.
Right.
Why did you change the name?
Well, we thought we didn't need the saint any longer. No, not really. The saint was sort of there for good luck. And it brought us good luck for 17 years. And we also felt that Gillian was a simpler name, more focused, younger, more exciting. Graphically, it was beautiful. And with the new advertising campaign, Gillian across the screen looks so much better.
Yeah.
And I think the graphics are very important. People relate to it. And the single name was so much easier to remember and to say.
What do you think is different about women in the 17 years that you've been designing and partner at Gillian? What do you think you see is different about the American woman?
I think she's more confident. I think now, for example, a woman, although I'm wearing a suit today, I'm wearing a soft suit, not a serious suit, that women want to wear a lot of different kinds of clothes. They don't have to be so serious. They're more confident. They're more feminine.
Yeah.
And I think they're not being dictated to. I mean, if we want the skirts to be short, they're going to say, I'll wear short skirts sometimes and not other times.
Yeah.
And so they're very self-confident, and they're pretty. They don't want to look like a man. They want to look like a woman.
Yeah. I love that. I love that we finally got in the act.
Yeah,
Do you
it's
know?
great. It's
Yeah.
great. And it's
I hope
fun
that's good for you
No,
designers,
for me,
but
it's great.
I think it's
and
great for
she's
all of us.
evolved with me, you know, like she's sort of my age. I think our customer is. She's a little younger, sometimes a little older. But she's come along and she's pushed me to design really exciting clothes. She doesn't want uninteresting clothing. She wants pretty colors, soft, sexy.
Do men play as large a role or a smaller role than they did 15 years ago, let's say, in what a woman chooses to wear?
I think a lot less. I mean, I
too.
see less and less women coming with their husband sitting in a chair, like she said,
Like Lomans.
reading the
Sure.
newspaper. I think there's less and less. Most of them come, maybe they've got a child in a stroller on a Saturday, but they come by themselves or they come quickly, you know, and they buy for the 6 months, for the next 6 months, and that's it.
Well, let's see. Well, you've brought spring.
I've brought resort spring,
Okay,
things
great.
that you can buy
1990.
in December and January.
Okay, let's take a look. Oh, yeah, look at the colors.
Yeah,
Great.
the colors here are fantastic. I think they make you feel great.
Now, the whole focus here is women being women again.
It's women being women, and I think I designed for an executive woman. So she can wear our clothes to the office. We fill a lot of her needs. In fact, later we're going to show you some of our new little black dresses, our dinner clothing.
Oh, great.
I love it.
They like it.
But you'll see there's
This is
soft
lovely.
structure, and yet there's draping. So not everybody likes the same thing.
Now, what kind of money would this be?
This dress would be about $220 retail.
So it's affordable for most of us.
Yes.
Thank God.
Now, you also have 9 divisions with your company. I don't know if a lot of people realize that. You also have petite and larger women's
absolutely.
sizes.
We make these same kinds of clothes for the
Tiny?
petite customer and for the large size customer.
Great.
I mean, I feel very strongly that because you're small or large doesn't mean you don't have good taste.
Yes.
Isn't that
Oh, look,
true? This color is great.
The shorts are really important this year, and I think, of course, we sell this suit with shorts or with a skirt, but we love the walking short. What's nice about it is when you sit down, they're comfortable.
Yeah.
You can actually wear them to the office, and I think all these colors look so gorgeous in silk shantung.
Look at how pretty.
See all the interesting surprise backs.
Yeah, the back on this. Look at the back, everybody.
See, what's
that
fun
pretty?
about this for our customers, she can wear this to work with a jacket over it. Then she can go out in the evening and take her jacket off and not have to change all the time. And I think they're happy
Very
clothes.
pretty.
They are. They're very happy. Is color now going to be with us? Okay. I mean, you know, for so many years, all we saw was black for day and night, and now we're seeing a lot more color.
I think that the color makes the customer feel good, but I think that, as I said, we're not dictating to the customer anymore. We make such a full range of colors. Gillian ships to the stores a new color story every 2 weeks. So let's say you come to our department, our Gillian department, and you see neutrals. Well, in another 2 weeks, we'll probably be shipping bright. So we give such a full range of color.
Yeah.
It's really fun. I mean, I love bright, but I also love neutrals. That's really my favorite.
Yeah.
You deal now in not only women's clothes, but a mood. It's kind of
Absolutely.
if you will, an aura about them. That is what you seem to be really targeting and supplying. We have a videotape of your new commercial.
Right.
And that's what it's all about, isn't it?
It's all about an aura. It's all about, it's supposed to show, as my kids tell their friends, they say, where are the clothes? And they said, no, this shows how a woman feels when she wears mommy's clothes.
Let's see how a
Let's
woman
take a look,
feels.
everybody.
There goes my baby, moving on down the line, wondering where she is bound. I broke her heart and made her cry. Now I'm alone, so all alone. What can I do? What can I do?
Is that? Does
It's
that
really
say
an
it all?
attitude, isn't it?
Pardon?
It says it all.
Yeah.
You don't
Oh, it
need
does.
to say anything.
It's very sensual. It makes you feel good. The song is great. I think the graphics of the Gillian across the screen is spectacular. You remember it.
Yeah.
I mean, I know more people have said they've seen the commercial while they're naked because they run out of the shower. They hear the song.
So wonderful. Now we have some more clothes to see. What are
Let's
we
see
going
the
to
little
see?
black dresses now.
We're going to see some a black and white story, very spectator story, and a few of the little black or little white dresses.
Great.
What I will like. Okay.
Oh, look at
Now, is this resort?
This is resort.
Okay.
That's stunning.
Now, see, Kay, this will never go out of style.
Never. I mean, it's
No.
classic, but new looking. We love the new little short shaped jacket. And these are all in silk shantung, which is a fabulous fabric because you can almost wear it all year round.
Yeah.
It's got great body.
Now, you could put another jacket over that, and it'd be a whole different suit,
Absolutely.
wouldn't it?
And you could open this and put a blouse on it.
Yeah, right.
Sometimes with the smaller and the larger sizes, when you have so many divisions, we look at the clothes and say, it's pretty, but they have it in a large size, but I don't think a large size woman would look good in it. They would look good, any size would look good in these
And we
clothes.
translate them, we change them slightly, but it's the taste level you want to portray to a
Isn't
large
this
size.
stunning?
This is a real Sabrina dress.
Yes.
Yeah, it is,
You know,
isn't
like
it?
Audrey
it is.
Hepburn would have worn
sure.
this.
Oh, nice.
And this is part of the Gillian dinner, which is, you know, very classic, simple.
Great. That's great. That again would be great with a jacket over it.
Absolutely.
Right?
Most of our clothing looks great with the jacket. Sometimes we sell a separate jacket.
Right.
But we love the cleanliness and the draping. You'll see one is very tailored and one is very draped.
Incredible. You also have 2 sons, a husband, and a tremendous amount of volunteer work. How do you keep it all together?
Sometimes it's difficult. But for example, my family is very supportive. My husband helps, my kids help.
Just beautiful.
They like it.
Great.
They're nice, aren't they, Ivy?
Isn't that sensational for spring? Kay Unger for Gillian.
Thanks.
Wonderful.
Great.
Thanks for being here.
Thanks very much.
Thanks.
Hollywood legend next. Stay tuned.
Our next guest was a golden Hollywood princess. She reigned as a spectacular blonde bombshell and then broke the mold and gained international respect and acclaim as she went on to win 2 Oscars.
Yet, despite a lifetime of achievement, she still regrets, and I quote, not becoming a lawyer because I wasn't smart enough. Join us in welcoming the sometimes controversial and always interesting Miss Shelley Winters.
Did you hear them clapping before you came out? Come down and say everybody. Hi.
Still got it, kid. Still got it.
All right.
Well, they love you.
They both came and got me because they were afraid I was going to fall down.
Well, no, these steps are a little
They're
tricky.
treacherous.
Has
believe me.
anybody ever fallen down?
I have many times.
They've fallen
See,
up
don't you
them,
feel
too.
better?
Yes, yes. Did Sally Kirkland ever do the show?
Yes, she did.
At one of her weddings, I can't remember which.
There have been that many.
It was in a church where the carpeting, and then there was, it was out in Santa Monica, and there was some steps covered
Right.
with the same carpeting, which I notice you have here. And we never got to rehearse, and Susan Hubley's little boy didn't see too well. He was all dressed up, and he was carrying the ring. And I was trying to help him, and he had to go to the right. I think there was a very famous glee club there. It was quite a production. So I got the little boy, and then I went clank and fell.
Oh, no.
Yes, and really hurt himself. So I
stole the
crawled.
show.
No, I crawled away from the procession into the pew, and then I went to, and then I crawled up the aisle and went back.
It's a different kind of wedding.
Oh,
Yeah,
dear.
no, I didn't disrupt the wedding. I did. I was in agony, but I went to the hospital. So.
Did you?
Yes, I
Now,
did.
Shelley,
Yes.
we all know you.
Yes.
And you are a legend. I mean, you've had a life that most of us dream about.
Don't tell me that.
It's true. It's
I
true.
was
I mean,
just
look
in-
how they adore
I was
you.
just in Chicago.
See?
I was just in Chicago where a film of mine was opening, and they had judges. It was one of those things. And a German judge came up to me and said, "Oh, my God, it's so great to see you alive, standing here."
Oh, Lord. Well, you are
strange.
very much alive. Now,
okay.
I want to talk about first, because we're going to talk for a while, not about the days of Hollywood yet. I want to know more about when you were a kid just starting. Now, you have said that you were a deprived kid. Were you? In what way?
Well, I'll tell you a very strange thing. I used to hang out where this studio is, Ozone Park.
Here?
Yes, I lived in Brooklyn. It was about 3 miles, but I liked this neighborhood better. In fact, when I was 14 years old, I won a beauty contest at the Liberty Swimming Pool, if it's still around here.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I'll have to check.
my Girl Scout troop and my Boy Scout troop came, and someone, I think, stole a white satin bathing suit for me, and I put powder puffs in. No, he didn't steal it. His father was in that business. And you know, and they gave out the prize by holding the lifeguard's hand over the kid, and I won. I won. And when I brought it home, my father said, "Where did you get that?" Because I was very skinny and gawky. You can't believe it now.
Did you always want to be an actress?
Yes.
Always.
When I was, very young, it was safe then. I saw movies all over. Where's the elevator? Have they taken it down?
In here? Oh, it's here. It's there. How'd you
right
get
on-
up to this floor?
Not the elevator, the elevator.
She's talking about the subway.
The subway.
The subway.
Not the elevator, the elevator.
You just did that commercial on me. Not the air conditioner, the air conditioner.
The L.
The L.
Oh,
And
Lord.
I used to go all along there, and I would roller skate, and I would go see every single picture that was playing everywhere. And if I didn't have the money, it was like 10 or 15 cents, and you got a dish sometimes.
Yeah.
It was depression. I would manage to see everything, and I would memorize the movies.
Well, we're going to hear more about it when we come back.
All right.
To hold
Stay
that
right there.
thought, save
Don't
all
go
of it. We
anywhere.
want every bit of it. More with the fascinating Shelley Winters. Stay with us. That is the music. Well, we're back talking with Shelley Winters. With all we hear about Hollywood and all the marvelous things that you have in your books, I think what struck me as interesting, and I wanted to ask you, do you think that women were made to feel guilty for being ambitious when you were coming up as a young woman?
That's a difficult question. Unless you were put yourself in the mold that that women were accepted as, yes, that women weren't directors, women were not writers, or very few. You know, when I went in your makeup room and all the producers were women and there were so many.
That's right.
I mean, I felt such a glow because you know, equal opportunity. I don't know about equal pay yet, but I fought so long and hard for it. I recently was on the, Disney set where I did a picture, and there was a woman crane operator, and I just sat there and enjoyed. Yeah. And she didn't quite know why I was staring at her, but it was wonderful because it used to be racist and sexist, and it's really changed in Hollywood. That's wonderful.
Shelley, tell us why you've written these books. Is it some sort of release about just talking about your life, or is it for the money?
Well, everything is for money.
Grant, better believe it.
Except this show.
But you have exposed. yeah, we don't pay here. You should know that. But you've exposed a lot of stuff, and you've been criticized about it. People come after you. Why have you put yourself out on the line like that?
Several things. Of course, it's for money, but that's not the reason. I think I always wanted to be a writer. My name is Shirley Schrift, and in Austrian German, it means to write, or short shrift, you know, hear that. And I changed my name when I was about 14 because somebody said, you can't be an actress with that name. And I think deep down inside of me, and I was just looking at, I wrote an article for a magazine. I went to Columbia and took some classes about 15 years ago. And the teacher was very encouraging. I had a teacher in Brooklyn who tried to make me believe in my intellect, and she wanted me to go to school and study law, and I would write for her. And she was a very loving teacher. I hope they have time now for those kind of teachers, because there's so little love at home. I mean, both parents have to work.
Yeah.
And I know, because my daughter was a teacher for a while. Now she's a doctor. And she said there just wasn't time. You know, there's so many kids. And she had, I don't know, a 6-year-old, and she wanted them to sit on her lap and call her by her first name, and they didn't want her to do that. And she felt it was needed. And I know how important a teacher is in a child's life. And I had a teacher who was just great. And there was a pretty big class, but I guess there was more. I mean, it was coming out of the Depression, so I guess there was more security at home, and I teach acting sometimes.
Yes, you do. You're a great acting
sometimes interracial classes, and I don't know how kids study. I remember I used to go up on the roof or in the stairwell, but how can you study if you're in an apartment with roaches and rats? How can you? And crowded, And I think we have to fix that. We keep trying to fix the middle or the end. We have to fix the cause, I think, for children. Very much.
Do you feel proud of the books you've written?
Yes, I talk about that a great deal because I grew up in a ghetto. And you either die or you become very successful. Maybe, I don't know. But there's certain ways out. You can become an actor, a musician, fighter, a writer. And I very much wanted to put that in, you know. My father was arrested for arson. And it was unjustly so, and because there was an insurance of $5,000, and you can imagine firemen in he had a haberdashery shop on Christmas. And when I put that in the book, my sister was furious at me. She came downstairs and she said, "How dare you tell?" I said, "But it's important, Blanche. It's important because people go to prison. What happens to the family?" And it was devastating. My mother went to work at Lerner's on Flatbush Avenue. Really? And worked from, God knows. I remember sitting and counting on Caton Avenue. The cars went by, magically thinking when I counted to 100, she'd come home. No, 110, 115. She always came home, but...
yeah, go ahead, Dee.
We're dying to ask you every question.
Yeah, we got so many things we want to know about you.
One of the great women of America, Eleanor Roosevelt, called you an emotional Democrat. And we can see, it's very obvious that you're very passionate about so many things and you feel so deeply. Do you think you would have gone into politics?
There's a picture of Eleanor.
Yes.
There's a still.
I wish I had. I wish I had gone to college and been a congresswoman. Deep in my heart, that's really what I wanted to do.
To make large-scale change.
Yes. As an actor, you can, and as a playwright, you do make some change in your audience and their hearts and the way they feel. But I think that I was discouraged too easily, and being a woman, and in that time, and we didn't have enough money for me to go to college. I was out being a model. I never was as skinny as these models. I worked in the garment center and...
Okay. How are you happy with the way your life has turned out? What would you have done differently? Anything?
Yes, and it's not so women's lib. I think I would somewhere have made some kind of sacrifice and made more of a marriage with my daughter's father. He wanted to live in Italy.
Which was Vittorio Gassman.
And he wanted me to go there and learn Italian, and I tried, but I can't learn foreign languages. We made a divorce over lots of silly things.
Was he the great love of your life?
Oh.
I think so. Look at that face! I think so.
Probably, I'll tell you a secret. She got married a little while ago. She won't see this. She'll be at the hospital working. And while she was getting married, he looked at me and said, "Stupid, you couldn't have stayed married to me 2 or 3 years longer, so we would have had a couple of more like this."
Oh, God. Shelley.
But it was his fault as much as mine.
That's it. Well, maybe you still have a chance.
Everybody, Shelley Winters.
The great Shelley Winters, everyone. It is a pleasure.
Coming up next, we're continuing What's Hot series. Come back. We've been telling you what's hot all week, so today we're going to find out what's hot for men.
And here to show and tell us all the latest trends for men, let's welcome the arbiter of male style, editor-in-chief of M Magazine, Jane Lane.
Hi, Jane.
Welcome, Jane.
Hello,
thank you for being here.
Okay, Jane, what's hot for the guys?
Race car driving.
Really?
Yes. It's the need for speed, the romance.
So you're actually talking about getting in a car and driving, not just watching it.
Men and women can take courses.
Here's a tip.
You can learn to do that as an amateur. You don't have to be a professional. You could go out to Lime Rock and take a weekend course and just come back and drive along the express. Well, no, don't drive along the expressway. But
At least not when I'm there.
What's hot for men? So this would be even a good gift for a wife to give to her husband, huh? Race card lessons?
terrific gift.
Our director, he got those.
Yeah.
Our director got those from his wife for his 40th birthday. He loved it. What else is hot?
Romance.
Men being romantic?
Being romantic, courting a woman.
Let us just make this
Sending
point
her
a little
at least
clearer.
2 dozen of those.
Of white roses.
Dozen is not enough.
Men are doing these things now.
Well,
How
they should be.
nice.
And they, yes.
I think they are, though. I think they are. I
They're
think
liking
romance is
doing
back.
it. Yeah.
They're more comfortable with women, and
There she is.
There I am. in
Looking
my glory.
romantic.
That's right.
That's right.
All right. And what else, Jane?
in careers, communications and entertainment.
Is hot for men.
Yes. Journalism. The editor of 7 Days is Anna Moss is a young man, started it from the beginning. Director of Sex, Lies, and Videotape, one of the outstanding films of the season, is a very young man, Steven Soderbergh, his first movie. A lot of men are just interested in old-fashioned journalism, chasing stories, coming back, writing them on the computer.
That's where it's changed.
That's a little bit. That's the hot career for men right
Yes.
now.
Okay.
What about
This is very hot, we understand.
writing utensils?
Accessories. Men are paying attention to their cufflinks, their tie pins.
Beautiful, beautiful
Their
pens.
fountain pens.
Fountain pens instead of the Bic
Mont
now.
Blanc.
We're
When
going
you're
for-
closing a deal, you don't take out your throwaway.
Bic, 19 cents, no.
Right. It's a power pen.
It's a power pen. So
They
it's
are
a nice
beautiful.
gift for Christmas, ladies.
Yes, the Mont Blanc.
Okay. What else, Jane?
In sports, golf. Again.
That's
we're
it, isn't
yeah.
Is golf back, or is it golf is back? Did it ever go out?
It, a lot of men are just playing, and there are new exciting fashions for golf to wear on the courses. There are more, probably better courses, better maintained. It's a social business.
It is a social game.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Very
All
good.
right. What's the new look for men now?
We call it Prepino Wall Street Italian.
I like that look. Yes. I like that look a lot.
Wall Street Italian?
It's the double-breasted jacket with the little stronger on top, the pleated trousers, longer trousers.
They want to know if the man comes with the outfit. No?
Ask him about
All
that.
right, we'll check that out later
We'll
on.
take numbers, ladies.
Now, with this kind of a great Wall Street Italian look, you have to have what for a hot man today? A good watch.
Preferably more than one.
Okay.
More than one. Oh,
Let's see what you
wardrobes
brought.
yeah.
like a wardrobe of
A
jewelry?
wardrobe,
Yeah.
exactly.
Take a look at this, everyone. Now, these are from Tiffany's, but these are the hot watches for now, for men to own.
Yes, and everything from a sport watch to a dress watch to an everyday watch, a functional metallic, a durable metallic watch. Men are really terribly interested in jewelry and things that say something about them. They're not hiding themselves. They're not shy about how they dress or what they say about themselves in their clothing and in their accessories and even what they do
Yeah,
for
Those are
recreation.
beautiful. Very
Sounds
nice.
like we're all going back to quality of life again.
Very much so.
Where we don't throw things away anymore. We like things that last and say something about us. I think that's grand.
And
I
get
love
better
that.
with age.
Yeah, I love that.
Okay. Now, what else is hot for men, Jane?
Eyeglasses.
Eyeglasses.
No more groping around in the dark.
So men aren't afraid to wear eyeglasses. Well, women have
Oh, look
reached
at
that
Kevin
point.
Costner and his spectacles.
That's wonderful.
Who's this?
Oh, that's Al Pacino.
Al Pacino in spectacles.
Mr.
And
Stallone.
Mr. Stallone.
Now on the cover of your
Very
magazine.
handsome.
Who expected to see Sly Stallone
He has
in
astigmatism.
glasses?
Does he?
Yes,
And
he
he's
has.
willing to...
He hasn't seen well in
Glasses.
forever.
Glasses are very sexy, though, don't you think?
Yeah.
Who
Now,
did-
what's the other one? Oh, the recreational sport?
Biking.
Biking.
Yeah.
Is that because it's a twofold sport? You can go with your girlfriend or your wife?
Probably, and it's the bikes are exciting. They're mountain bikes and 10-speed bikes and bike racing as well. I mean, someone like Greg LeMond in the Tour de France. I
Who
mean,
decides what's hot?
it's always been lots of fun for us to talk about these things. We observe, we look at men. It's a combination. It's not only what we see in them, it's what we think would be fun for them and what they should be doing. We always think of it as something that it's fun. It's not serious. We just sort of committee.
A committee that decides. You take it off the time, so obviously men are doing this. I mean, they're wearing eyeglasses and they're playing golf. And
Yeah, a lot of these things we see.
they're actually doing
at
these things.
retail.
Yeah. Now, what's the gift that a man gives to a woman these days?
Pearls.
Pearls.
Always.
See, that's like back in the time. See, that's
These are
all like
beautiful.
things are
Look at our-
changing for the old world.
Look at these, aren't they pretty?
I can't really hold this up, but can you see it just a
Yeah,
little better?
aren't they beautiful?
Necklace and earrings, pearl earrings.
And real pearls, we might add, yes.
Not the ones you buy in the street
Right.
for the dollar,
Not-
guys.
Not the ones
The
that
real pearls,
the real
guys.
thing here. That's right.
Absolutely real.
And we know the difference. We stick them in our mouth. We can tell.
Well,
Jane, thank you very much.
thanks for telling us what's hot.
Some ideas, everybody?
Stay with us. We'll be right back. What's hot? Look at these. These So, should we tell everyone about our kitten that we saved?
Yeah, we were in Columbus, Ohio, and we were doing a shoot that you will ultimately see. But we were saluting Columbus, and we were finishing the shoot, and we were in a car.
Exhausted.
Exhausted. It was late in the day. We were
Leaving.
about ready to catch a plane, and a driver that was with us all day ran to the other car. We were shooting,
Stop,
and I said,
stop.
Don't move. There's a little kitten under your wheel. Well, we picked up the kitten.
Well,
and
actually, Tom
it got away.
Yurashek did that. We have to give him credit.
Yeah,
He
it
ran
got
under
away.
cars for 10 minutes. The producers
Got
were,
this kitten.
we're going to first class. We're ready to lose our seat.
Yeah.
And they're chasing this little cat from underneath all the cars in the airport. To make a long story
We
short,
bought a ticket to New
she
York.
stuffed it with fleas and all in her
in my bag, and of course it wouldn't stay there.
expensive shearling coat.
We bought it a ticket and a box.
And a kennel.
We brought it home to New York.
We fed it first.
Yeah, we fed it. We got it milk and
In the
cookies.
concession stand.
Cookies, of course, for me. And we brought it home
Milk.
to New York, and Christine, our hairdresser,
Has now
has
adopted
Columbus
her.
was the kitty's
Columbus
name.
is her name.
Yeah.
And she's great. And she's happy and healthy and wonderful.
Happy. We're Aunt Linda and Aunt Dee. Right.
And we defleet her.
See ya.
See you
Bye,
next
Rose.
time.
To receive Lifetime's Attitudes tip sheet with information on today's show, call 1-900-773-4040. Today's show and issue number is 6. The cost of the call and tip sheet is $2. To avoid ordering duplicate tip sheets, please check your issue number before placing the call.
If you would like tickets, please send a self-addressed stamped envelope to Attitudes Tickets, 3412 36th Street, Astoria, New York, 11106, or give us a call at area code 718-706-3575.
And fade to black.